Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Timothy here with Mana Rocks, and we are going to take a break from Core Set 2020 to play some Standard. I'm going to be playing a black-white Bolus's Citadel deck today. Basically, if you know what the card Bolus's Citadel does, 6 mana artifact, as long as it's on the battlefield, you can play the top card of your library by paying life equal to its mana cost rather than actually paying mana for it. The last part we're not really taking advantage of here. The sack 10 permanents, opponent loses 10 life. If we get 10 permanents on board, we've already won. So we're not really focused on that. We're just focusing on chaining a bunch of spells off the top. In this case, we are chaining the Lightning Helix effects in Standard with each other. So we've got things like Sovereign's Bite, Agonize and Siphon, Creep and Chill, Vampire Sovereign, even Vicious Rumors, even though this one's a little bit on the weaker side. I wanted an early play in the deck. And you're hoping to stick this and then just chain a bunch of those spells together. Every time you cast something like Sovereign's Bite, you gain a bunch of life back. In the case of something like Siphon or Creep and Chill, it costs you 4 life to cast it off the top with a Bolus's Citadel, but you gain life back, so you can keep chaining spells together while slowly killing your opponent. As far as non-Lightning Helix type effects, we have 2 Nightmare's Thirst, just a small removal spell that can pick off little creatures, and then in combination with something like Oath of Kaya can actually pick off big creatures as well. We have treasure maps, which help us scry towards the Bolus's Citadel, but once we've stuck Bolus's Citadel on board, we don't want lands on top of our library because we can only play 1 per turn, and we can't get the rest off at the top with the Citadel, so we use scry effect or the sack a treasure, draw a card type effect to get those lands off the top. Similar, we have Standard Powerhouse Orazca Relic. This is 3 mana artifact, taps for colorless mana, and once you've reached the City's Blessing, once you've ascended 10 permanents on board, you can sacrifice the relic to gain 3 life and draw a card. This is basically a free filter effect. Once Citadel has hit the board, you can pay 3 life to cast it off the top, and then you can immediately sacrifice it to gain that 3 life back, and actually draw another card as well. Citadel is a little different than something like Experimental Frenzy in that you can still cast the cards from your hand, so drawing cards isn't necessarily a bad thing, and the Relic is just a good way to dig while also ramping towards your Citadel. We have Basilica Bellhaunts, which are just nice stabilizing creatures here to kind of disrupt the opponent for a little bit. Probably not a necessary addition in the deck. This could be maybe more Creep and Chills or more Board Wraths or something like that. Maybe ways to deal with Planeswalkers like Vraska's Contempt, because this deck is very soft to Planeswalkers. And then we have the 4 Kaya's Wrath, which is just Assurance against creature decks. This tends to do really well against small aggro decks, so mono red, Cavalcade decks, mono white, stuff like that. Vampires, I feel like this deck does exceptionally well against those, but it's not great at dealing with like the mid-rangey big creature decks. So things like the Krasis decks, or things playing Nissa, Who Shakes the World, they can just put enough creatures out and stuff like that that can't really deal with all of them. And Kaya's Wrath helps deal with those things. So game plan: stick a Bolus's Citadel, chain off a bunch of spells. Hopefully that's enough to kill the opponent and keep us alive. And yeah, the mana base is pretty straightforward. 4 Godless Shrine, 4 Isolated Chapel, 4 Temple of Silence, which is actually really nice since the Scry can ditch lands to the bottom once the Citadel's out. Bunch of basics, and then a single Scoured Barrens because it gains life. Not super worried about our lands coming in tapped here, but that's the deck. So let's see if we can stick a Citadel, chain off a bunch of spells, and kill some people. It's a very Glass Cannon deck, as I mentioned, so I don't expect to win every match, but we'll play, let's say, 4, 5, 6 best of 1 matches, so hopefully get to showcase what this deck can do. It's really fun when it goes off. So if you have anything to comment about the deck, anything that you would make different, anything you would alter, please let me know in the comments below. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and find us on Twitter at MTG_ManaRocks. Alright, let's go and get into the matches. See you there. Alright, we're here for match 1. Decent hand. Hopefully we're playing against some sort of creature deck, because this is pretty good against them. Even the Vampire Sovereign's good against like the red decks. Although this is kind of the weakest effect that we're looking for in the deck, Oath of Kaya being one of the best ones. We're going to keep this, hopefully just scry into a bunch of lands, maybe Basilica Bellhaunts, and see what we're up against for now. I'll take the Relic. Basically any additional mana is something that I'm welcome right now. If we're playing against the stupid blue-green counter all your stuff and stick a creature deck, then we do okay against them. Basically you have to run a bunch of spells and hope they counter the unnecessary spells, which they often do. But I will say this is one of the most boring decks I've ever seen. They just sit there, hopefully stick a threat, and then try to counter literally everything you do. I've noticed if you play a real deck, you can usually beat them just fine because you stick a threat and then they can't do anything. This changes things a little bit. So this is some sort of Bant's elemental deck, I'm guessing. Oh no, I have no idea what I'm playing against yet. I'm not used to seeing Plains plus Leafkin Druid in the same deck here. There's a Citadel, so how worried am I about whatever my opponent's going to play next turn? Not worried enough that I don't think I should just play this Relic here and get a little bit more information about what my opponent's doing here. I assume they're playing some sort of Risen Reef style deck based on the Leafkin Druid, but we shall see. Hey look, it's Risen Reef. Well, they'll get a little bit of value off of that, but we can snipe that down with the Nightmare's Thirst. More lands is pretty good. If we draw a land next turn, we can actually stick the Citadel. So we're going to go Temple of Silence here. I would rather just have a land than a treasure map. And then I can go Oath of Kaya this, and then Vicious Rumors, or not Vicious Rumors, Nightmare's Thirst here. Just get my opponent's creatures off board and kind of stifle their mana development a little bit. I think that's fine. You'll notice that I use the effects that I have in hand early on to kind of deal with creatures and then try to deal with my opponent once the Citadel is stuck. So this puts our opponent back down to a normal amount of mana. They didn't ramp with the Risen Reef and we killed their Leafkin Druid. I assume they just have another Risen Reef, but we'll see. Oh, Hydroid Crisis for 2. Nice, okay. Alright, there's a Relic, so we can't actually play Citadel this turn, but we can next turn. And I like playing Citadel when you already have 6 mana on board, because then you get to filter a land off the top. So I think we're just going to go Relic into... We'll just cast the Vicious Rumors here. Might give us just a tiny little bit more information. Looks like our opponent's just playing like Bant Ramp or something along those lines. Crocs, or not Crocs, Cross. Yeah, Llanowar Elves. They could be playing, what is that deck called? The Leyline? Leyline of Abundance? Something like that. I don't think they're going to have a lot of counter magic, though. They can stick a Nissa next turn. Nissa's a little threatening. But we're going to stick our main card, and hopefully we can kill them before they kill us. Yeah, this looks like it might be some sort of Leyline deck. Llanowar Elves plus Leafkin Druid. It's a lot of mana ramp. Looking to stick a turn 3 or 4 Nissa. Alright, we'll take our 2. We have not taken a bunch of damage, so barring some counterspell, we should be fine here. See what the opponent wants to do. They're probably missing a land here as well. Alright. No Nissa, otherwise they would have attacked. Yeah, Paradise Druid as well. Sure. Well, Kaya's Wrath would be awesome. So let's go ahead and stick our Citadel. Oath of Kaya. So we get to start chaining off. We get 1 land drop here. This is gonna... Oh yeah, it's legendary, so we'll keep 1. Go ahead and shoot our opponent for 3. We gain that 3 back. Sovereign's Bite. We actually net a life off of that. Play our 1 land for the turn. I am gonna pay 6 to get this Citadel off the top. Go ahead and siphon our opponent down to 11. Ooh, another Citadel. Pay 6, go down to 11. Our opponent, don't think we're dying. I'm going to go ahead and get Citadel off the top here, and we brick. Alright, that is our 3rd Citadel, so if they have like a Deputy of Detention or something like that that can deal with the Citadel, we do need to find an answer to kill this thing now. And we can go down to 5. We do have the City's Blessing active as well. So I'm just looking for an Agonizing Siphon or another Oath of Kaya. I mean, Kaya's Wrath, we still have 4 of those in the deck that we haven't drawn. Let's go ahead and scry first. Sovereign's Bite can go to the bottom. We're looking for specific cards here. And I can cast this Vampire if I really need to. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and cast Oath of Kaya. We're going to kill the Deputy of Detention with this. Get our Citadel back. And we already played our land, but we can draw with the Relic here to hopefully hit some more spells. Alright, Creep and Chill costs us 1 life. Bellhaunt doesn't actually hit our opponent, but only costs us 1 life and gets a card out of the opponent's hand. And another Bellhaunt. Ooh, there's a Siphon. We're actually hitting pretty lucky here. Opponent goes down to 5. And that's going to be it for us this turn. We also have 3 points of damage in our hand, and our opponent's top decking. Plus we have lethal Bell Haunts on board. Yeah, so they have to block at least one of these Bell Haunts, and we probably just kill them this turn. Let's go and get that off the top. Let's go ahead and siphon them. And can't deal with that, but we can cast the Vampire, and boom! Bolas's Citadel gets the job done through a piece of disruption. Can't do much about actual artifact destruction, enchantment destruction, whatever, but can kill a Deputy of Detention. Looks like just Bant Ramp there. I'm willing to bet there's some sort of leyline deck. They just didn't have the ley lines. Ooh, monkey, I guess. Alright, and that's what the deck can do. That is what we're trying to do, is chain a bunch of spells together once the Citadel is stuck. You can imagine if we hadn't drawn the Citadel there, we didn't see any Kaya's Wraths, we can fall behind pretty quickly, but we were lucky. We hit our Citadel, and we got to chain off. So let's go and jump into another match coming right up. Alright, match 2 is up. We've got a really bad hand here. Creep and Chill is not a card you actually want in your hand. Same with the Vicious Rumors. You'd rather just hit those once the Citadel sticks, but this is much better. I think the opponent also took a mulligan, and I'm not 100% sure what we're playing against, so I'm not sure if I should keep this Nightmare's Thirst or not. I am going to keep the Citadel because we kind of need it. I think I'm just going to ditch the Sovereign's Bite to the bottom. It's the least impactful card on the board. It can't hit creatures. We're not worried about just hitting our opponent for 3 early on, so I'd rather just hedge against potential creature decks here and keep this Thirst in hand. Basilica Bellhaunt tends to be good against basically any matchup. Come on, red. Play Mountain. Alright. Well, not sniping a Llanowar Elf, but that's fine. Should probably also not auto-pass here with this Nightmare's Thirst in my hand. A little bit of a slow hand. Excuse me. Oh, Teamer. This could be a Wilderness Reclamation. The second Citadel is pretty bad. Kind of doesn't do anything. Also, I mean, are we against Elementals here with a slow draw? Because if they just play Risen Reef and I Nightmare's Thirst, I feel fine with that exchange. Alright, we'll go ahead and just do this in response. Basically get to cantrip this Risen Reef, maybe ramp a little bit, but I'm not super worried about Elementals here. Alright, Siphon, so we'll go ahead and just play Bellhaunt next turn. We can Siphon an Omnath or something along those lines. Can't really deal with Mythic Rare Chandra, but that's fine. Oh, Leafkin Druid? Okay, I don't care too much about that one at all. Alright, another Siphon. And we are still 2 lands away from Citadel, so it looks like the next couple turns, if we don't draw anything, we're going to be looking to just siphon down creatures and hopefully draw lands or some sort of mana ramp for our Citadel. They discarded an Omnath, which to me says they probably have another Omnath in hand. Cavalier of Thorns is a little problematic. That card is pretty strong. I mean, they just get a land off of it, so I'm not super worried about it. The Lava Coil to the graveyard. Ooh, Kaya's Wrath. Do I just do that now? They get to put a card back on top. I think I can get a little bit more mileage out of this Kaya's Wrath. Again, I'd rather draw lands, but it's a nice reassurance plan if they just flood the board here. Ideally, I'd like for them to play out a bunch more creatures or something like that. Killing this isn't great, but they don't have anything super exceptional to get back. I guess Omnath's pretty good. Omnath does get out of Siphon range pretty quickly. Not blocking. Alright, we'll see what we draw here. Could just start siphoning their little guys too, but don't want to die to this. Okay, Krasis is a decent draw. That's a 4/4. So we're probably just going to Kaya's Wrath the board. They might put Krasis back on top, honestly. Alright, and that gives us a potential opportunity to draw a land next turn, stick a Citadel, and hopefully go off. Alright, they took the 3 as well. So let's get a little bit lucky here. They could put Omnath or Krasis on top here. Omnath's probably better because they can just stick it, plus play land, plus play other stuff in the same turn. Krasis... Oh, they do put the Krasis on top. Okay. Interesting. I mean, it's going to be a big Krasis. We do need to draw our land basically next turn or we're going to fall extremely far behind, but... This is going to be, what, 2, 4, 6 power Krasis, draw 3, gain 3? Okay. It's pretty good. Ugh. Okay, well, unfortunately, they've drawn enough cards that I think they're going to be able to pressure us enough that the Citadel's not going to matter when it comes down. We really needed that to be a land. Like, really bad. Yeah, so here comes Nissa. Nissa's going to give them a bunch of extra land. Thankfully, they didn't tap particularly well for that Nissa. I'm going to take 9 here, and I have maybe one more shot to stick a Citadel. If I can go Citadel into another Kaya's Wrath, then maybe there's a chance. Sure, Cavalier's fine. Doesn't really change anything. It doesn't change what I need to draw here. Alright, Rare Chandra to the bottom. And Nightmare's Thirst. Alright, that's going to do it. Didn't draw the 6th land there. That was a bummer. We had an opening there to win this match. And once the Citadel sticks, if they don't have a way to deal with it and we're not under pressure that turn, we usually get way too far out of hand. Usually only takes 2 turns to win, but didn't draw the 6th land, so a little bit of a bummer. We take a loss there, and we'll go ahead and run it right on back. Alright, we're back for round 3. Okay hand. Again, pretty decent against creature deck. Not very good against control deck. Let's see what we're up against. Alright, I like Mountain. Mountain is my favorite thing to play against. Let's go ahead and drop this Scoured Barrens here. Although they didn't play a 1-drop, so maybe they're mono red with a really bad draw, or they're probably not mono red if they didn't play a 1-drop. I'm just leading off with the Scoured Barrens because it's the only guaranteed tap land we have in our hand. We can sequence things to get the Chapel in untapped. Had I not drawn that, would have probably just run out of Swamp here, but opponent apparently has decisions to make. Ooh, Runaway Steamkin. We don't actually have a kill spell for that. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. So let's kill Steamkin before it gets too far out of hand. And pass. Our opponent's got a slow hand, so they might have a Experimental Frenzy hand, which is the one card in mono red that really scares me. I guess there's Phoenix as well, but Experimental Frenzy usually gets the job done. There's also the 4-mana Chandra, which is a little bit difficult for us to deal with, but we've got Kai's Wrath to ensure creature protection here. We've got Basilica Bellhaunt, which is usually just very good against them. They're playing very slow. I wonder if they're actually decisions to make or if they're having some sort of connection issue. If they just play a Chain Whirler or something here, that's fine. Okay. That is a Chain Whirler. Wouldn't mind drawing an Oath. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just Sovereign's Bite here. And hopefully they play out a bunch of creatures, not a Frenzy. And we can just Kai's Wrath. Okay, there's the Chandra. Again, this card is problematic. We can let it get up to 7, but we can't let it ultimate because they usually get enough cards off of the ultimate to deal with you. So we're probably going to just play Bellhaunt. And we have not drawn another land. Nor do we actually have our Citadel, but I think this is fine. Fifth land would be fine for this Vampire Sovereign. Alright, there's a Pyromancer. And Chain Whirler plus like a burn spell can actually deal with this Bellhaunt fine. I'm still going to block if they give me the chance though. Alright, light up the stage, also annoying. So land, Lightning Strike. Sure. So how are they going to use the Lightning Strike right now? They should probably attack with Chain Whirler first, and then if I block, they can Lightning Strike off the Bellhaunt. Jeez. Alright, so next turn they can have Lightning Strike, which is arguably worse. I can probably attack Chandra on my next turn. I should probably be playing Vraska's Contempt. So, do we think they have a Shock? Their last card's got to be Shock if they're doing this. Or Wizard's Lightning. Oh no, they just threw away their Chain Whirler, though. So, they've got to have Shock or Wizard's Lightning, Fanatical Firebrand, something. Okay, Skewer. Nice. So, it's not bad. I did draw a land. I think I'm going to play... Let's see. If I play Sovereign now, then they go Lightning Strike, Lightning Strike. This deals damage to me whenever I deal damage to it. Kai's Wrath not looking too great here. I kind of want to siphon this just to keep it off of killing us. I won't actually gain any life. I'll stay even at 22, and then they go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they have 2 draws. I'll be at 14, and I get to follow up with a Vampire Sovereign. It's target opponent, right? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and Siphon Chandra. Just keep that off of ult for a couple turns. And then make them use their Lightning Strikes on me, essentially. And not my Vampire Sovereign. Well, okay. 3 Lightning Strikes. So they're going to deal 9, 10, 11 this turn. I'm going to go to 11. And I need a land and a Citadel very quickly, or else I am in trouble. Because I can't hold off Chandra forever. Yeah, maybe these Creep and Chill should just be Vraska's Contempts. I think there's only one Creep and Chill. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stick this now. Give me a little bit of life back. Opponent's got 3 new cards to play around with here. Yeah, this is a problem. I guess if they don't kill my Vampire Sovereign here, I can attack it down and maybe draw something to kill it. Let's see what they get off their Chandra first, though. Mountain. Don't mind seeing that. Okay, Firebrand plus Skewer can kill my Vampire Sovereign if that's what they have. If they don't attack, then I'm pretty sure that last card's not a burn spell. Interesting. So there's the 6th land. I'm going to go ahead and attack Chandra and then just cast a Creep and Chill. I'm going to go down to 11, but then I'm going to go back up to 14. And hopefully they don't draw a combination of spells that kills my Vampire Sovereign. That I can take out Chandra next turn. Puts me in a pretty bad spot, but again, I can wipe creatures the following turn. I could also go for them. 3, 6. Not confident that'll work. Alright, let's go to 11. And go back up to 14. Opponent goes to 11. So we'll swap life totals here and then hope the opponent gets a little bit unlucky. Their card in hand's probably a land. They didn't play anything. They had tons of mana. Doesn't seem like a burn spell. If it was a shock, I think they would have attacked with the Pyromancer. Okay, so shock plus any other burn spell will kill this Sovereign. They did have a land in hand. Alright, shock in my face. Hopefully not light up the stage. I guess they only have till end of turn to cast that anyway, so. We're going to go down to 9. We're going to go down to 6. Ooh, there's the Citadel. Alright, so I'm going to play that first. Play the land off the top. If I attack Chandra, I go down to 6. And then I can't actually Kaya's Wrath here. Ugh. Yeah, so I go down to 6. They have me at 3. They only get 1 draw. So do I sit on defense and let them draw 2 cards, or do I go down to 6 and let them only draw 1 card? Ooh, this is actually very close. I need to... I can't even cast too many spells if I... I'm going to sit tight here. Try to get as much life total as I can. They're going to have 2 shots at drawing cards here. It's not good. So Firebrand plus a 3 damage spell on Sovereign would be fine. Another Chandra. They can actually just play that. Basically just drawing to another card. So that's not too big of a deal. Alright. I'm hoping they just draw creatures like Steamkins or something. Because I have double Kaya's Wrath in hand. Alright, light up the stage. Kind of gross, kind of gross. They're just full value light up the stage here. Okay, I can't play both of those. That puts me down to 7. And they're out of mana this turn. So we need to hit some real life gain spells next turn, or just kill the opponent. We have him down to 8 with this, so we need to hit 3 spells, and we need enough life that we can actually play him off the top of our library too. So, gonna have to get a little bit lucky. That's already a bad sign. All right, Sovereign's Bite nets us life, so I like that one. Ugh, and brick. Brick, 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 brick. All right, so we're gonna go up to 8. Our opponent's gonna go down to 8. We are going to attack them for 3 down to 5. They're going to put us down to 7, 6, and they have 2 draws. Plus their card in hand might be relevant. They used a bunch of extra effects. I'm not confident we're going to get out of next turn here. Alright, let's go and put our opponent down to 5. They put us down to 7, but we gain 1 off Kaya's Wrath, so we'll be at 8. And we'll be at a virtual 7 with the Firebrand. Alright, again, we need our opponent to hit things like Steamkins and, I guess, Chain Whirlers. Lands would be nice, but they've already drawn enough lands that I don't think I can really expect that. Okay, that's good. That's a good sign. Land off the top. Here comes Firebrand. No Lava Runner. Okay, into another Chandra. Sure, that's just a redraw, basically. Okay, Steamkin's a good sign. Steamkin's good because it doesn't immediately deal damage to us. Remember, we need to get out of this turn having enough life to actually cast spells off the top with Citadel. Alright, and what's the last card here? Oh, ugh. Alright, so we're going to go down to 4 here, which actually shuts off a decent amount of the spells we can cast. Yeah, we can't cast the Siphon. That's pretty bad. If we cast it, we die. So I think I'm going to have to play the Scryland here and hope to hit something cheaper. Can't cast that either. So I guess the plan is now Wrath and hope my opponent bricks on their draws. If I can survive another turn, I can actually cast this from my hand because I'll draw it for a turn. But they get 2 draws here. And I'm at 4 life. These Chandras just putting in work. The extra draws and the combination of damage it did, plus unable to get rid of it. Problematic. Citadel was not super kind to us. Oh, they're just... well, they went through combat, so if they draw like a haste creature, it doesn't matter. Okay, brick, brick, brick. Good. So I don't think we're dying this turn. Let's go ahead and drop this Sovereign first. Play the land off the top. Alright, Oath of Kaya does it. Boom. Got there. Got there. Got a little bit lucky. Our opponent drew 11 lands. But to be fair, a lot of those were extra cards, so... held our own against Mono Red. I'll take it. That gives us, what, 2 wins? Hey, that's ironic. Alright. I'm wondering if, again, Creep and Chill, I do think I'm going to go ahead and just replace this real quick with a Vraska's Contempt. And I probably want another Vraska's Contempt. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as one, because Creep and Chill is pretty bad. It's the only one that, besides Sovereign's Bite, which is really cheap, it's the only one that doesn't actually hit creatures, and so, or, you know, players or opponents or whatever, planeswalkers, so you're kind of locked into just dealing damage with that one, and it is pretty expensive, but we'll go and run this back. Game number, I guess, 4 coming up. Alright, we're back for match number 4. This is the type of hand I like to keep. I am on the draw, but it has the, you know, Wrath Reassurance. It's got Oath of Kaya for an early creature. Our opponent's playing Spectral Sailor or Opt or whatever. We're still just going to lead off with a Godless Shrine here and pass. Alright, so no Spectral Sailor. They probably have Opt in their hand then. I guess we can go Treasure Map here. If they want to use a negate on that, I'm actually fine with it. Trickster, sure. I guess they could be Mono Blue Tempo, but Kaya's Wrath tends to be decent against them. Siren Storm Tamer. Alright, there's the Citadel as well. I'm going to go and play Relic here. Opponent definitely has some sort of counter in their hand. We're going to have to bait some counter spells, I think. And we do get some scry action going on. Good news is they're not jamming on us super hard right now. Alright, another Storm Tamer's fine. So let's go ahead and scry. I'll just scry lands to the top if I can. Sure. So I want to resolve the Kaya's Wrath. I'm going to go and Vicious Rumors them first. This doesn't target, so they can't Storm Tamer. Discarded what? Another Trickster? Oh no, a Dive Down. Alright, well Dive Down's not particularly good against these. I'm going to go and use my Siphon here, I think, and try to siphon off this Trickster, which they probably won't fight over. They can sack a Storm Tamer to counter it, or they can use a counter spell in hand, which I'd be pretty happy with. Unsummon the Trickster, sure. I don't gain life here, which is relevant. Alright, well they have Trickster plus 2 cards. No land. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and scry again. And probably just run out the Oath of Kaya. Going to keep that on top. They don't have a 4th land for Sailor, so these have to be interactive spells. Let's go ahead and cast Oath of Kaya. Again, I'm trying to bait things here, so that the Kaya's Wrath will resolve. And I'm going to target the Sailor. They might sack a Storm Tamer in response here. Sure. So it counters the ability again. I don't gain life. I'm probably running out the Trickster here. Bad news is, I think they still have counter spells. I can play around a Spell Pierce. I can play around... Dive Down doesn't matter, so it's got to be a negate or something along those lines. I am going to go ahead and just scry here, because I'll flip my thing. Actually, net mana. Alright, let's draw. Another Kaya's Wrath. So I'm just going to run out the Kaya's Wrath here. They have 3 cards in hand. I don't think this is resolving. Wizard's Retort, sure. So we really need our Kaya's Wrath next turn to resolve, or else we're dead. 2, 3, 4. I guess we can get one more turn here. Gotta hate playing against these decks. They're so annoying. Alright, do you have the other counter spell as well, opponent? I'm willing to bet you do. Spell Pierce I can pay for. They're gonna double Spell Pierce me? Let's resolve Spell Pierce. And then they Wizards Retort it? It wouldn't make sense to use the Spell Pierce, though. Okay, let's resolve that. Do they have a 3rd Spell Pierce? Nice. Alright, that gives us an opening. And our Relic's active as well. Tempest Djinn off the top. That's disgusting. It's not huge. Ooh, Bellhaunt. So should we get the last card of their hand, or should we go Citadel? I kind of like just playing Citadel here and trying to go off. Alright, Oath of Kaya is free to cast. Ooh, Vicious Rumors actually gets that last card of their hand, too. I'm going to cast this. I'll go down to 1, up to 4. Remember, I can sack the Relic to not die. I can't cast the Siphon or I'll die right away. So we're going to sack this, draw the Siphon. And we're going to stop there. Opponent, if they draw a land, puts us down to 3. But now we can cast Siphon out of our hand. And I think we're looking pretty good here. So let's go ahead and jam on them. I'll go ahead and Siphon them down to 9. We go up to 6. We will Rumors. Oh, there we go. Sovereign's Bite. Sovereign's Bite. Oh, we actually get to kill this Djinn as well. Get out of here, Djinn. There we go. There we go. We got the scoop. All right. Threw a bunch of counter spells. I wonder if the opponent was hoping we forgot about our treasure with the second Spell Pierce, or if they forgot about the treasure. I mean, they had to go for it, I guess. Otherwise, Kaya's Wrath wipes the board. But we got a little lucky. They had double Spell Pierce and not double Wizard's Retort. Spell Pierce is okay against our deck as well. So that puts us 3 wins and a loss. And we get to play... We'll probably play 2 more matches here. So let's go ahead and run it back. See you there. Alright, welcome back. Not a super powerful hand, but I'm still going to keep it. It's fine. Could use with having a treasure map or something like that. Lava Runner. Sure. So we actually get to do kind of a neat trick next turn. Play Vicious Rumors and then have Nightmare's Thirst deal 2 damage, or -2/-2. Vicious Rumors isn't bad against mono red either. They tend to have a decent number of cards. Also, this Chain Whirler is now doomed. I guess not. They can cast Chain Whirler next turn if they really want to. Part of me wants to hold on to these this Nightmare's Thirst post Kaya's Wrath, but I still need to draw another land for that to even matter. I might just go double Vicious Rumors them here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just eat some of their hand, because they're going to want to cast these spells anyway. I don't think that Lightning Strike is going anywhere. Ooh, Flame of Keld. Haven't seen that one in a while. And we mill from this as well, don't we? No, it's just target opponent. Alright, so 2 Chandras out of the way. I assume they're going to play Chain Whirler. Still feel fine here. We're going to probably Vicious Rumors the last card out of their hand, and there's the Kaya's Wrath. So we're going to take our hit here. Go and have our opponent Stone Cold top deck in. And that was a Pyromancer. And no, I'm not going to use the Nightmare's Thirst. Alright, so our hand doesn't do much here either. We could die to an Experimental Frenzy off the top, but we're at 11. We're fine. There's Citadel. Nice. So we have our game plan. We just need to draw lands. Alright, alright. Some breathing room. Can't actually cast that. I'm going to Siphon them. No, let's hold tight on Siphon. Get too hasty with it. That looked like a burn spell. There's a Vraska's Contempt. Could have been a Creepin' Chill, remember? Creepin' Dread? Creepin' something. Alright, Lava Runner. We'll go ahead and Vraska's Contempt that one. Just because we want to use the mana here. Also gains us some life, which is nice. Alright, we're just hoping to rattle off lands. Let's get that last card out of their hand. They probably cast it in response, whatever it is. Shock. Boom. Felt like it was a burn spell. Alright, there's a Chain Whirl. We have a Siphon for that. Temple of Silence is nice. Alright, and Godless Shrine on top. So let's go ahead and just Siphon here. Still at 14. Opponent's top deck in. We're going to play Citadel next turn. Could also just play Sovereign and save Citadel for the turn after. Let's do that instead, actually. Might get the scoop soon, too. We're going to be at 17 life with our opponent top decking. Again, all it takes is a Frenzy, though, for them to just win out. Okay, this game is over. So, if you're, in case you're wondering, I went Vampire this turn, Citadel the next turn, even though I could have played Citadel, just because it would let me chain off and still play the land off the top. Plus, the Vampire's pretty good there, too. Let's play one more, and then we'll call it a wrap. We lost a match. I don't even remember what we lost to, and we've also been fortunate to dodge all of the kind of Esper control decks. So let's see if we lose to a Planeswalker deck here. Final match coming up. Thanks for hanging out. Alright, welcome back. This hand is not a winning hand by any stretch. This is a lot better. Do I get greedy and put a land on the bottom, or do I just put one of these Bell Haunts on the bottom? I think I'm actually going to get greedy here. I know I need 6 lands for this deck to operate. Crash Through. Are we playing against Wizards, or... not gonna shock myself. I've not seen Crash Through in a while. Yeah, we're playing against Wizards with Dreadhorde Arcanist. Nice. Alright, unfortunately nothing we can do. We could actually gank this Arcanist's ability with the Nightmare's Thirst, but... Are they gonna play Adelies? Oh, Opt, sure. I'm kind of tempted in response... Let's see what else they play here, but in response, I can Nightmare's Thirst this thing. It has 0 power. I guess they already targeted, but They're just drawing an extra card here. It's not even that bad. Fourth land is going to haunt us, isn't it? Alright, just taking one. And follow-up wizard? No follow-up wizard. There we go. Alright, so let's try to Oath of Kaya this Arcanist. I guess they could be playing counter magic. Spell Pierce, sure. Still think the Bell Haunts are pretty good against them. And 1 mana red spell, Wizard's Lightning. Okay. Thankfully that's actually CMC 3 in the graveyard. Bell Haunts should be pretty good against this opponent. They're going to draw another card off of Crash Through. Kind of neat. Haven't seen this deck. Oh, another Arcanist. Okay. So, Wizard's Retort would be annoying. Thankfully, a Negate or Spell Pierce doesn't actually get us. Bellhaunt looks like it might help the Arcanist because they can discard a spell to flash back, but that's actually not that big of a deal because they could have cast it from their hand and done that anyway. They discarded a Steam Vents. Alright, so I am going to block here. They probably have a Wizard's Retort or something. Target Spell Pierce, sure. Try to get them to use their spells here. If I draw a land, I'll just play Vampire Sovereign. They don't have a Essence Scatter or anything. Nice. Get that Wizard's Retort out of here. Alright, no such luck, so just another Bellhaunt. Chip away at the hand a little bit while we're buying time. And a land, sure. Opponent's probably got some sort of like counter magic, spell-based counter magic, more Spell Pierces, I'm guessing. Lightning Strike plus Shock. Oh, double removal spell. And they're down to 1 card. This is where Vicious Rumors are actually pretty good. Alright, land for the Sovereign? Nice. Go and stick that. Can't Spell Pierce that one. And we're at 20 still against what appears to be just like a burn deck. Oh, there's the Adelies. Okay, nice. Wizards you control get +1/+1. So if they're attacking, they definitely have a Shock in their hand. So just trades 2 for 1 here. I'm going to block. There's nothing they can cast, right? Oh, they would have had to cast their spell before combat to make this 2 power. I don't think there's anything here. I guess they have to target the Spell Pierce. Sure. Alright, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I don't have to block, right? Yeah, I don't have to. Next turn I can go Siphon 1 creature and then Nightmare's Thirst the other one, and I still have my Sovereign on board. If their last card is an Opt or a Shock, that doesn't change anything I'm doing on my turn. And there's the Citadel, so we should be wrapping this one up shortly. I don't think they have like a pump spell, so I'm going to go Siphon here, and then Thirst this. This kills both their creatures, leaves them with probably a Shock in hand, and then we get to start actually even attacking them. We're 1 land away from dropping our Citadel. Stormkin, sure. Sky Knight Legionnaire. Alright, Relic's fine. We can play Relic and attack them for 3. We're at such a high life total. They're actually close to just dying to this Vampire Sovereign. Alright, Adelies is a nice draw. Hit us for 4. Opponent not afraid of dying. And let's see if we can finish this video up by chaining our Citadel together. Alright, no Spell Pierce, so let's go and Sovereign's Bite them. Again, Sovereign's Bite nets us mana, which is nice. We'll go ahead and take out Adelies here. That gains us 2 up to 14. The treasure map puts us down to 12. We haven't played a land yet, so we can actually scry. And we will scry that to the bottom. Alright, and then we brick here. Attack them down to 3, and there's just no way they're not dead. And I can't imagine there's any way we're dying. Alright, opponent respects that. So let's go ahead and attack first with the Sovereign. I don't think it really matters. Oh, I can just play Bellhaunt first. Oh yeah, I'm going to attack, make them do the block plus shock. Block, shock, shock, block. And then we'll kill them with any combination of the cards we have. I'm going to go ahead and actually cast the Bellhaunt first, just to confirm that they had a shock in hand. Make myself feel good. Wizard's Lightning. Okay, that's even better, actually. And how do we wrap this up? Let's go ahead and Sovereign's Bite them. Boom! Got there with the Citadel. Probably would have gotten there without the Citadel. Just our deck, I think, again, we match up extremely well against these little aggro decks. We had that tough match against Mono Red, but that's because of the Planeswalkers. So there you go. You get an idea for what we're trying to do with this Citadel deck. Very Glass Cannon. We were fortunate to draw Citadel in most of our decks, or most of our games. I don't think you want to go up to the 4th Citadel, though, because you risk drawing too many of them. And you'll also notice our problem is we're only playing 24 lands. We've got a little bit of mana ramp with the 2 artifacts here, but 24 means you don't hit 6 on turn 6 very often, which is what happened in the game we lost. And then you also just don't want so many lands in your deck that once you stick the Citadel, you just keep getting lands on top and you're not really taking advantage of it. So it's a little bit tricky. There's probably some other artifact I could run that makes it a little bit smoother, maybe Azor's Gateway or something like that. And the numbers are pretty weird here. The Vicious Rumors do come in handy some amount of time when your opponent's down to like a couple cards, especially against those tempo green-blue counter all your stuff flash decks. Vicious Rumors tends to be pretty good against them because they're usually down to a couple counter spells, and they're not going to use the counter spells on the Vicious Rumor. So it's a nice way to eat their cards before casting something important, but yeah, this is the deck. Played pretty smoothly for most of our matches, and we got to see exactly what we wanted to do, so storming off with Bolas' Citadel. If there's anything you would change, or any cards that I'm forgetting, maybe more Oath of Kaya type effects, or Vampire Sovereign type effects that are floating around in Standard right now, let me know, because I'd be interested to make some changes to this deck and make it a little bit more viable. But with all that being said, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out here with Mana Rocks. My name's Timothy. Hope you enjoyed the video. You can find us below by subscribing on YouTube, or you can find us on Twitter at MTG_ManaRocks. Thanks for watching. See you next time.